we're back with another edition of the Sports Block. Today we are doing the girls lacrosse game. Following with this, we will be doing the men's lacrosse game. But for this girls game, we have the Myers Park Mustangs versus the Middle Creek Mustangs. So not something you see every day. But this should be a really good game as Myers Park, a pretty dominant team coming out of Charlotte, North Carolina, with the current 3-1 record, with their only loss being to Weddington. Weddington, a state championship team last year in boys lacrosse. But some stats for Myers Park with 68 goals scored all season and only 16 allowed, so a big difference there. For the Mustangs, though, they're coming in with the perfect 6-0 record, 5-0 in conference. With big wins over teams like Apex Friendship, Apex, and Broughton. They average 17 goals per game and have only given up 21 goals the entire season. So, as we start the game here, it appears that Griffin will go up the field but lose the ball, so it'll go back into Myers Park's possession. So Wilson defending. And the ball nearly forced out of bounds. But now a fight for the ball. And now picked up by Wofford commit Kaylin Cardillo. And Kaylin Cardillo, one of the staples in this Middle Creek offense, as she's now a senior and has been here for a few years. And her younger sister, Bridget, number 1, they both have combined for 41 goals this season. Which would be the first and second leading scorer. Bridget with 21, slightly edging out Kaylin. So Middle Creek looking to slow things down, but now Griffin looks to take it inside, and will get her pass deflected. So Myers Park looks to reset their offense here. So okay. So Myers Park scoring a goal. Myers Park scoring their first goal of the night. That is yet number 19, Mallory Jarka, a sophomore midfielder. Midi. So Myers Park taking an early 1-0 lead. So Myers Park here to face off against Middle Creek once again. And this time Myers Park takes possession. So Myers Park coming out pretty strong here, taking that 1-0 early lead. So Myers Park looking to set up into a quick offense, but good defense by Powell. And a bad pass leads to a steal by White. Ellie White, the senior captain. And now Kaylin Cardillo, one of the other captains for this team, makes a move. Now gets trapped, so passes back out to White. So Middle Creek moving the ball around a little bit here. Needs to be careful. So it appears that Myers Park playing great defense. And it'll stay with Middle Creek, but Myers Park playing great defense on the Mustangs, the Middle Creek Mustangs, that is. And I'm going to have to watch what I say tonight as the ball gets turned over, picked off by number 9. Number 9, Wallace Catazar, a senior midi, and she goes all the way to score the goal. So Myers Park taking an early 2-0 lead. So Middle Creek really needs to regroup here. So Aussie for the face-off. And now Myers Park, it appears that they've taken a 3-0 lead now. And really stunning the Mustangs right now. As we all knew, Myers Park was a good team coming into this game. But sorry for some technical difficulties, but Myers Park really, I can't say enough, has really taken over this game. Only 2 minutes into the game, I might add, has really just been tough for Middle Creek to defend. I don't know. And no. Yeah. Okay, so we are back after some technical difficulties, but as you've seen, Myers Park scoring another goal to make the lead now 4-0. Middle Creek really just having a tough time on the defensive end. Myers Park really taking advantage of some breakaway points, and it's really been really tough for Middle Creek to defend, as Myers Park coming out just very aggressive and strong on both the defensive and offensive end, shutting down every opportunity Middle Creek has had offensively. So now the face-off has changed. Cardillo goes to face-off, but she loses to her Myers Park counterpart, Becca Ropel. So good defense being played by Powell. But Myers Park going inside, and a good stop by the goalie. That would be Sydney Mahan. She saved 60% of the balls thrown to her net. So a good statistic for a freshman goalie, that is. So Middle Creek really needs to look to take advantage of this offensive opportunity, as it looked pretty ugly so far. But putting some points on the board will definitely be big for the Mustangs, as they really should be able to put it into their star players' hands. But so far they've really struggled, and even controlling the ball, as now it's just been a frenzy. But a push will be called against number 11, Amber Griffin. So Myers Park retains, and number 10, Kathleen Redden, go straight inside. But that pass will be deflected by Aussie. Stays with Myers Park with the athletic save. So far, really unlike Middle Creek, especially after what we've seen this year so far. And quite unfortunate to start with a 4-0 deficit. But Middle Creek will look to come back and put some points on the board, as they've played some pretty good defense this possession, as long as they can just stay in front of each other. So some good defense being played by Savannah Fry. And Middle Creek really needs to look to keep that going, as it's really been tough for them to stay in front of their defenders and avoid. It's really been those breakaway points, or the breakaway goals, I should say, that have hurt them. But some moves being put on here. And but a great save once again by Mahan. And Griffin looks to control the ball. So Middle Creek in the same situation as they were a few minutes ago. Now moving the ball up to White. And Ellie White now on the breakaway. She looks to set up into an offensive set. But Myers Park again playing some superb defense as Middle Creek looks to do something here. And Middle Creek, not a below-average team by any means, as you heard. I mean, they're perfect on the season so far, 6-0, with 84 total goals this season. So definitely a high-powered offense, and so far been a great defense, only allowing 21 goals. But so far that hasn't been on display, as White tries to change that, going inside, but then defers her pass out to Cardillo. So Cardillo, the leading goal getter for the Mustangs, gets deflected out, and it'll be Myers Park ball. So the Mustangs having difficulty on yet another offensive possession, as it's been a theme so far this game. And Myers Park once again taking advantage of that breakaway and scoring yet another goal. So a really tough outing so far for Middle Creek. But they can look to put some goals on the board, I believe. They just have to keep doing what they've done all season. And right now it's really just not appearing that way. But once again, like I said, this team coming out of Charlotte, a really good team, and a quite unusual occurrence to play a team like this. But Middle Creek, being such a prestigious lacrosse program these past few years, has drawn some high-powered opponents. So Aussie to take the face-off once again, but loses to Myers Park. And Myers Park now going straight down the lane and misses right over the goal. So luckily Middle Creek will have a chance to defend their goal here, as I don't believe Middle Creek's let up 5 goals in a time span like this all season. And it really appears that even with another goal scored, that this is quite getting out of control for the Mustangs, and it's going to be tough to get back. But a little later, we're going to have junior defenseman Ben Lever come on to talk about this boys game that we hope will be played, although there is some rain coming down and possibly some thunder and lightning coming our way. But once again, hopefully that will be avoided. Ben's going to come up to talk about his game and what's going to go on here. So Aussie once again at the face-off with number 6, Becca Ropel. And another loss, so Myers Park really has dominated this face-off game, as they've really they dominated in all other aspects of the game, as the scoreboard shows, with a 6-0 lead so far, with 60 minutes left still to go in the first half. So the rain's slowing down here a little bit, as it's really been a rainy day here in Apex. But it was quite windy earlier. And but like I said, we're hoping to have some better weather for this guys game Myers Park scoring yet another goal, making it a 7-0 lead for the opposing Mustangs. So I'm going to go ahead and read off a Thoroughbred sponsor here. So the Pierce Group has a group of dedicated and knowledgeable professionals with over 100 years of combined industry experience to serve you. Pierce Group benefits: improve your speed, agility, quickness, flexibility, and strength to reach your potential at the Performance Academy. Work hard, be great. So it looks as if Bridget Cardillo takes the ball after, actually, excuse me, hard to tell who picked it up. I believe it may have been Kaylin Cardillo, but has finally won a set to start this possession. And now it'll be in the hands of Bridget Cardillo. So Middle Creek looking to start something here, as obviously it's been tough all game. And the scoreboard says it all. But Middle Creek really putting something on the board here would be good. And 7-0, it may not look great, but it's not something that they can't come back from. As this isn't the team that's been playing all season. But as you can tell, the field is a little muddy and slippery, so it's a little bit tougher to get the ball moving around as easily. But now Myers Park scoring yet another goal. Really unlike the Mustangs here. Now with an 8-0 deficit, but it's tough to imagine a comeback. But I mean, you hope Middle Creek can get something going. So it looks as if Middle Creek is going to take a timeout. So we're going to cut to break real quick, and we'll be back soon. This is the Sports Block. So we're back with the Sports Block here. Not the outing Middle Creek's been looking for. Now down 8-0. But really, it's just really been tough, as Myers Park has just come out and completely stunned this Middle Creek Mustang team. It's, by the looks of it, it's just been really, really difficult to stop them, as they've broken away so many times on the offensive end, and their defensive efforts have been stellar so far, unlike what it's looked like the past few years and all this season against conference play. So, but that's really something you see in every situation, really, as you can have a 4A team or a 3A team in conference play dominate, where most of the athletes that play a certain sport will come to that school, or a culture will be built. But once you go to a new region, you can really see the impacts that the game will have against teams of this magnitude. In the Charlotte area, really attracting many different sports, such as football, basketball, as many of the state champions will come out of there each year, either somewhere close to Wake County, it seems, or Mecklenburg County. But Middle Creek will finally get a goal here, and that would be Kaylin Cardillo, so she will tie her sister Bridget in goals with her 21st goal of the season. So Middle Creek finally getting something going here, even though it's a little late. Obviously not too late for a comeback, but you would wish to get this a little earlier. But to see a goal go in, that's really motivating for a team. So Ellie White winning her face-off here. And getting something going here. And so Cardillo has another opportunity here to convert. And the rain is coming down much more now, as that'll probably be something happening for the next at least hour or two. But a spectacular save by Myers Park goalie. And Myers Park looking to get something going on offense once again. As another good save here. And we're now being joined by Middle Creek Junior defenseman Ben Lever. So, Ben, what are you really expecting out of your game today?
Expecting it to be a tough matchup, and we're coming off of we won last game, but it wasn't the way we wanted to win. We played more as a team. We want to play hard and want to finish the game, and we want to play like we know we can.
Yeah, for sure. You guys really looked impressive this season, coming off a great season last year. But this year, obviously, would hope to finish and a state championship title, as you did in past years. So can you expand on what this team means to you and how you guys can really reach that expectation this year?
I mean, we're taking it game by game, but to me, it's really during beginning of the season, I just it's all right, this is my team, cool, but I'm really starting to grow with these guys, and I love these boys, and it's not something that just you can say, but I'm really starting to mean it, and these boys mean the world to me, and I love playing for them and playing with them. Yeah,
for sure. I mean, that sounds awesome. Watching you guys play is always fun. But so far, this girls team kind of struggling. What do you think has been a thing for them, and what they can really do to get back into this game?
I mean, feed number 20, number 1 the ball, and a bunch of other people, but I know the Cardillo sisters can always get it done.
Yeah, both Bridget and Kaylin, both with 21 goals in the season now. That's close to a Middle Creek record, but going into today, this Fuquay matchup, what do you think about this Fuquay Arena team and how you'll fare against them?
They're an upcoming program, I know that, but they've been here for a few years, and they've gotten better every year, and they're really solid this year. I know that, with some really athletic kids. So really good. They're looking good. So it's gonna be tough.
Yeah. So you have anything else you want to say? Any shout outs?
Shout out D Baird. Shout out Creek Boys.
Yeah.
Roll Stangs.
Right.
And let's go Robbie. All right.
Yeah. All right. I appreciate it, Ben. Thank you. So once again, that was junior defenseman Ben Lever just commenting on today's girls' game and his upcoming game. Really looking to build off a strong season last year and an even stronger season the year before with the state championship. both years with losses to Lake Norman and near the Charlotte area, but hopefully we can get back, and I'm sure Lake Norman will be in that mix once again. So Myers Park really being able to get inside quite easily, as using their speed and athleticism has really been a big thing. And I know I've said it quite a few times now, but the rain just continuing to pour down. I'm sure it will be more of an effect on the boys' game as it is the girls' game currently. But a good save there by Mahan. And Ellie White now being double teamed, spins out. Now passes to Detzer, Suzanne Detzer, team captain, a senior as well, with a few goals in the season so far. Now back to Detzer from Aussie. And Detzer looking to make something of this. So now Middle Creek slowing it down a little bit, looking to make something of this. So Cardillo moving it around to Griffin. And now to Ellie White. Ellie White, one of these team captains, as I mentioned. And Bridget Cardillo being stopped by multiple Myers Park defenders. And this is really where Myers Park's been a big issue, as they get on this breakaway, and it's tough to be stopped. But Middle Creek finally getting it done here, stopping them, and turns it right back over. So very unfortunate, but Myers Park at least stopped on that fast break opportunity. And Middle Creek looks to defend here, defend their goal. But much can't be said so far this game, as the scoreboard can really just tell you all of it. 9-1. It's a tough fare for the Mustangs, but I mean, the game's not over yet for sure. And Middle Creek they can learn a lot of things from this game, being down this early, and hopefully being able to come back and make something into this game. So good defense being played now. And it would really be a confidence booster for Middle Creek to stop one of these offensive possessions. But as I mentioned, I mean, Myers Park just playing a great job. And once again, scoring, as I believe they'll count it, as there may be an injury on the field. So now 10-1. Something you normally see Middle Creek do to other teams is now being done to them. So hopefully, instead of taking this as a bad thing, Middle Creek can, this girls' team can look back and say, look, this is what happened to us in the beginning of the season. And although it was, a really tough game, we can build off of it and look to make something of it. So Aussie once again to face off against number 21, Gabrielle Cleveland, the sophomore midi. So it looks like it will stay with Middle Creek, as it will. But you have to give props to this Myers Park team, as they've come in and have really lived up to the hype, as they've lost this year, which, I mean, by judging the score, you would think, a team that could beat this team would have to be quite good, and Weddington being a great team, as I mentioned earlier, is a great team. But Cardillo putting good moves on this defense, but gets the ball stripped. So now the ball will be moved up the field by Myers Park, and it looks as if the Mustangs have held off enough for them to be put into an offensive set instead of a breakaway goal. A good defense there by Matty Hughes to prevent the pass. So the Myers Park, number 19, Mallory Jerka, the sophomore midi. She goes straight inside with a great move and gets it in for one. So we're going to do some more thoroughbred sponsors here, as the Pierce Group has a group of dedicated and knowledgeable professionals with over 100 years of combined industry experience to serve you. Pierce Group benefits: improve your speed, agility, quickness, flexibility, and strength to reach your potential at the Performance Academy. Work hard, be great. And also for some other stallion and colt sponsors, from oil changes to engine replacement, they fix all makes and models. Christian Brothers Automotive in the Fairview Village Shopping Center. James River Equipment, your full-service John Deere construction and forestry equipment dealer. James River Equipment. So Myers Park looking to put some more points up on the board. Good defense by Aussie. Aussie, a Coastal Carolina commit, and now to Cardillo. Back to Detzer. Detzer driving left on this defense, but will look to slow down. Pass to Wilson. Now back to Detzer, probably going back to Cardillo, which she does. So good ball movement here by Middle Creek. And now Ellie White looking for a shot opportunity, but another great save. Another great save by Myers Park. So at this point, you really would just hope for Middle Creek to play some solid defense to finish the game. Really, you can't count on it, but you can for sure hope that they can do something with this game. But once again, let me, as Myers Park scores yet another goal, this time, I believe, by number 10, Catherine Redden. The boys team will be playing after this against the Fuquay-Varina Bengals, their crosstown rival. In a pretty heated matchup, Middle Creek's dominated the past few years. But as Ben came up here and talked to us about, Fuquay is really an up-and-coming program, haven't been a program for too long. Between 4 to 6 years, I believe, they've only been a program for. So not too long, but they really have something to build off of. As the Fuquay-Varina boys are 1-3 this season. Excuse me, 1-2. So now Aussie coming down the field and being stopped by a swarm of Myers Park defenders, but a good pass inside will once again be swarmed by defenders. So Myers Park playing great, spectacular defense on this Middle Creek team, which all year has been not the case. Middle Creek really quite easily getting up and down the field, and now it's just looking quite disastrous for this offense of Middle Creek. They just really can't get anything going. But as I've mentioned, I mean, it's really just been easy for this team, this Mustangs team of Myers Park, to get inside and score if they get those isolation one-on-one plays, or even if they really have done a great job of spreading out their offense and making it so other defenders have to guard the wide side of the field and when a person is isolated like that, they use just their skill to blow right past the defense. And the girls on Middle Creek's defense are pretty quite young, between sophomores and juniors mainly. So with only a minute and 39 seconds left in the first half of this game, Middle Creek really should look out to come and get a stop on defense or get a goal on offense, just to go into the half with something to say something good about. And I mean, sadly, this team being so good all year, and a great save by Mahan. As Mahan really has done a solid job tonight, as the scoreboard doesn't reflect it, but in those times where she's had to step up, she's really done good. So someone needs to get open here, as Cardello looks to make a move, but now will be the ball will be thrown out of bounds. So really just unforced errors here by Middle Creek. Not solid play. Nothing we've seen all year for sure. So a good move there by number 9 Wallace Cardazar, but another great save by Mahan. And Mahan having a tough time relaying those balls back to our offensive players. So really, once again, just, I mean, self-inflicting wounds. Tough to see when you have a team of such a good caliber go down like this, 13-1. But that will be the halftime buzzer, as Middle Creek needs to go in and toss something up. But before we go, we have some sponsors to read. So a a healthy, attractive smile is an important part of our lives at any age. Gladwell Orthodontics strives to set the standard in quality orthodontic care and offers a wide range of services. Smile more with Gladwell Orthodontics. So the score is 13-1. It is now halftime, and we'll be right back with the Sports Block. Yeah. So we're now back with the sports block, and Aussie is now back to fight back for the ball as she will lose off that face-off once again. Myers Park, really not what I was expecting, quite honestly. Neither I don't think anyone was. Everyone knew it would be a tough opponent, of course, as I've mentioned before. I mean, a Charlotte team coming in, always looking to dominate a Wake County team, but not in this fashion especially, as the rain is really becoming an issue now. But it won't prevent anyone from getting off the field, nor will it prevent the boys from playing next. So Myers Park retaining possession of the ball. It is now a running clock, I might add. So for injuries, I believe anything besides timeouts will be a continuing running clock. So, I mean, that meaning that Middle Creek down 12, really just a tough situation. Not, I mean, I can't say it enough, not something you expected, of course, out of this team. As I read off their stats earlier, really impressive offensively and quite impressive defensively, as they're nearing their total goals for the season allowed, which has been 21 goals against the entire season, but now 14 goals scored on this year. I mean, that's really something you don't hear on. 14 goals scored on in one game. That's something you really don't hear about for a team of this caliber. But Alexis Aussie to stay at the face-off against Becca Rappel. So now nearing 22 minutes, the 22-minute mark. So a good move by White. So we've really seen flashes here of this Middle Creek team and how they are good and how they've done in these games. And there is Bridget Cardillo, as she won up her sister once again, now with her 22nd goal of the season. Once again, the leading scorer on the team. So really that was one thing. Those past 20 seconds is something you've seen all season. So don't let this game get you wrong. Middle Creek is a great team and someone that should be looked at as a threat for the conference and playoffs to come. But I think what's been the big thing for them the past few years is they just really had key reserves and people that could come off the bench and play exceptionally well. But their starters have been solid normally, as they are this year, but they definitely don't roll as deep as they used to. So the rain continuing to come down here as we near 21 minutes now. I might add the JV boys beat the JV Mustangs of Middle Creek beat the JV boys of Fuquay-Varina earlier today by, I believe, a score of 9-3 or 10-3. Can't remember, but that's a good one for Middle Creek today to start for their varsity for their boys program. But the JV girls did not play today, so the JV girls was the only team that didn't play. That's a part of this lacrosse program. But as we see, I mean, the rain and slippery weather has been such an issue. But I correct myself, a goal has been scored, as they may count it off. But it was originally a good save by Mahan, as the ball slipped in. But as I was saying before that, as Middle Creek takes possession once again, uh, this field is really getting damp and has really been a tough surface to play on. And another slip up there is something you just don't see a lot from this team. So Aussie fighting for the ball, but it will go back to Myers Park. So Middle Creek needs to get back on defense here as Myers Park loses the ball, but will keep it in bounds. It will be knocked out by Griffin and will go Middle Creek's way. So the ball put in the hands of Cardillo, looking to make something of this, as great defense by Rappel. Wow, so Myers Park really has taken over on this defensive end, as I can't say it enough tonight. And offensively, it's been pretty apparent as the 14-2 score has showed what they've done tonight. So a foul on number 22, Savannah Fry, will set up number 11, Reese Caldwell, the sophomore midi attack. As the ball will be lost and picked up by the Mustangs. So Ellie White in possession, now being double teamed. Passes out to Hana. Hana Pau. Now to Savannah Fry. And a good catch and a good move by Fry. Now to Aussie. And Alexis Aussie looking to make something as her pass gets dropped, but she nearly picks it back up. Now a foul will be called. And it looks as if it will go against Myers Park, giving the open lane to Detzer. So Detzer elects to set up a play here, which hasn't worked for most of the night, but to get something here would be big. Not on the scoreboard or not for the final results, but just to for morally it will be a victory for them. The word I was trying to say. So Cardillo knocked to the ground by a Myers Park defender. No call. And now Myers Park will get the call on the offensive end by Griffin. So good defense played by Fry. Myers Park tries to get something here. To my surprise, Myers Park really hasn't taken out many of their starters or main players, as many of them stayed in the game so far, but they have rotated a few in and out. So move being put on by Myers Park. But once again, good defense by Savannah Fry. And I believe the goal will be counted off. And it will be awarded back to Middle Creek. Indeed, it will be. So the pass out, or of the pass attempt to number 15, Maddie Hughes, but she couldn't catch the ball. So the ball will go back to Myers Park. As the rain comes down a little harder, as that comes to be a serious issue tonight. As another goal will be scored by number 24, Stella Wright, her first goal of the night, the freshman midi, to extend to extend the Myers Park lead to 13. But really, as I was mentioning, I mean, the range is kind of like symbolism at this point, as we're hoping it'll clear up by the time the boys' game comes across. But as I mentioned earlier, running clock has been put into effect, meaning that the clock is continuing to run as we speak, or as I speak, and it will look as if Aussie will still stay at the face-off position. And Myers Park looking to move the ball up quickly, but good defense played by Middle Creek. And a great save. Great save by Mahan. So it'll stay with Middle Creek, but Mahan putting on a pretty good performance tonight. Although giving up 15 goals, it can't be overlooked. I mean, she is still a freshman and has a lot of time to grow. She made a few good key plays tonight. But it's mainly been the defense before she gets to those one-on-one situations where she has to defend her goal with a defender right in front of her, which is really tough for anyone. Even like you can see the top goalies across the nation in college and professional, if they're put in that one-on-one situation, it's very rarely they are to stop that ball. Even in, as you'll see in hockey, that's tough in a fast break opportunity, then they're most likely not going to stop it. So the Myers Park Mustangs looking to possibly slow things down, as I can't imagine they're still looking to attack the ball to put it into the net, but really not looking to make any mistakes like so. I believe they just want to hold on to the ball. Maybe not for all 13 minutes remaining in the game, but possibly just to speed the game time up, as I believe the damage has been done. But there will always be brighter days for Middle Creek. And no real metaphor intended, but there really will be brighter days for this Mustangs team, as they will make the playoffs and they will make a run. So just because they didn't fare well tonight and they played against a great team, it shouldn't be overlooked. They've beat a team in Apex and Apex Friendship who are both quite good and they're teams that will make the playoffs and will go on to have runs just like Middle Creek will. So no need to panic or anything, just something that Middle Creek should build off of instead of get upset over. So a goal will be scored by number 19, Mallory Jerka. So back to face off once again. Myers Park has changed up their face off woman, as it's now Gabrielle Cleveland, a sophomore midi, as she has a goal tonight. And Middle Creek on the offensive end now, but something that hasn't happened too often tonight. So it's really just been about the limited number of offensive opportunities for Middle Creek and how many times they've been able to attempt to put the ball in the net. But, I mean, it's really been tough for them to make a move, as the defense of Myers Park has just swarmed all over the field, and they've been really disciplined and a well-working machine tonight. and it's definitely got on display so far. So good defense there, but I believe it'll stay with Myers Park. So now with just under 10 minutes to go, it's more of a matter of just getting out of this game for Middle Creek as it is just to put something on the board. And a foul will be called against Catherine Dupierre. But I myself can definitely say that I was expecting a little bit closer of a game. Definitely not something of the magnitude of 16-2. I don't think anyone really could expect that, even the ones at Myers Park. Looking at the record, Middle Creek 6-0, and looking at the score differentials, although they haven't played the greatest teams in the world, they really have played some stiff competition. As Bridget Cardillo scoring yet another goal, so 23 goals in the season now for her to close the deficit. Although not too impactful at this point, still something that they should look at as a positive. But the rain looking to clear up a little bit here, as it's not so bad as it was before. It was a good day earlier, pretty clear, maybe with a little overcast, but it began to rain at about the start of this game. And besides that, it's been a pretty good-looking day today in Apex. As to our backs, there's clear skies, but in front of us, there's definitely some overcast and cloudy weather coming our way. As that's been a theme these past few weeks here. It's just really been rainy weather and bad weather over the weekends. But now I believe there will be an official timeout. So we're going to go ahead and head to a quick break. This has been the Sports Block. We'll be right back. Now in the middle of the second half, or towards the end I should say. Now only a bit over 7 minutes to go. So a foul will be called So Mustangs getting some rare offensive opportunity here, as a goal will be scored, but a violation will be called before that. Middle Creek will keep the ball. An offsides call, I believe, will be called. So Bridget Cardillo scoring against the new goalkeeper put in from Myers Park. Once again, closing the deficit a little bit now, 16-4. So if you're looking at the brighter side of things here, Bridget Cardillo's had a good game with a hat trick. And although it hasn't been the greatest thing in the world, you can definitely, as I said, I can't say it enough, you can definitely build off this game. And having a defeat like this early in the season is way better than having it late in the season, because it's something a team can go through and build on together. So Aussie at the face-off. I should mention we plan to have her on after this game to talk about her game a little bit and just see what they can improve on, and what they really struggle with this game, as it should be quite prevalent. But she'll definitely give us a little insight about the game and what her teammates are thinking at this point. And also she'll probably give some insight as well on the guys' game, as I believe she'll stick around and watch that game. So we're all hoping for a little bit better of an outcome there as a Middle Creek fan, as the guys are looking to take the field here in a few minutes. So a penalty would be called. And during this time, I'll read some Thoroughbred sponsors. Pierce Group has a group of dedicated and knowledgeable professionals with over 100 years of combined industry experience to serve you. Pierce Group benefits: improve your speed, agility, quickness, flexibility, and strength to reach your potential at the Performance Academy. Work hard, be great. So another offsides call will be made by the official, but once again the clock will remain running as the boys will begin warming up on the sidelines. So Aussie passing out to Cardillo, looking to make something of this possession, as obviously it may be a little too late here to make a comeback, but something can be put on the board. Aussie putting a great move, and a offsides will be called once again. So Alexis Aussie looking to make something of this, and she will. So shorten the deficit once again will be Alexis Aussie, her first goal of the night. So the top three scores for Middle Creek, all three, Alexis Aussie, Kaylin Cardillo, and Bridget Cardillo, all scoring tonight, although it looks as if they will lose by a double-digit deficit. Something to look at and just to be positive about, rather than just look at the negative of what has happened tonight. But for a preview of our upcoming game, you should really stick around. It should be a great game, as I mentioned. Crosstown rival Fuquay-Varina will be taking on the Middle Creek Mustangs, and a great matchup. Middle Creek being a great program these past few years, with multiple conference championships and a state championship 2 years ago. And as Ben Lever said earlier, Fuquay-Varina, an up-and-coming program, and should give Middle Creek a little bit more trouble than they did last year, as they're only 1-2, but their record, I don't believe, reflects how they are as a team. Only losing to Apex Friendship by 3 and Holly Springs by 4, both pretty solid teams. And so it really should be something to look forward to, as any Fuquay versus Middle Creek event is always something to look forward to. So with under 2 minutes remaining now in the second half, Middle Creek looks as if, correct me, Myers Park looks as if they're not looking to score, or I would hope not, out of sportsmanship. But you never know with some of these teams. But just a simple recap if you haven't been here the entire game. Myers Park, as I stand corrected, they do go in and get a late goal. So to make the lead 17-5. Myers Park being great offensively in the first half, took advantage of all the offensive opportunities, and defensively they played great double teams and played great zone all night to force Middle Creek out of what they didn't or what they wanted to do. So a good effort by Middle Creek, but simply just, you hate to say it, but just outplayed by a better team, it appears. So now Brooke Spofford is checked into the game for her first time tonight, sophomore defenseman. So as this game comes to a close, Middle Creek will fall to Myers Park 17-5, and they will they will fall down to 6-1 in the season as Myers Park will advance to 4-1. Before I go, I'll read off some more sponsors. Pierce Group has a group of dedicated and knowledgeable professionals with over 100 years of combined industry experience to serve you. Pierce Group benefits. Improve your speed, agility, quickness, flexibility, and strength to reach your potential at the Performance Academy. Work hard, be great. So as we go to the boys' game here next, we'll be right back with the sports block.